Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Bridge. This is a episode of Marriage Raw and Relatable. Today, we're going to talk about the me time myth. Yes, I said the me time myth. This is something that is kind of it may bother some people, but it's the truth, and I know that the Holy Spirit gave this to me because I'm one that needs moments to myself, and I may overdo it a little bit. But the me time myth, we all in this era of me time. I'm gonna do me. We live in that era. And today, Chris made a statement. We were all folding laundry. I let laundry get behind. And so I piled all the laundry up and I was like, y'all grab a chair. Everybody's gonna fold clothes. And in that time, we used it as family time. We used it as time to talk about topics, things that are going on in the children's lives. It gave me and him an opportunity to kind of pour into the children even. So it just gave me the reminder that we really have taken the family dynamic. We've given up on a lot of areas in it, and we are not as the days of old. Yes, times have changed, but I still believe that we should spend time together. I still believe that families should eat dinner together. I still believe that, both parents should be raising the children. I'm a little bit old school, but I still believe in godly order and the way that he designed it. And we get so caught up in that me time. I read a meme the other day, and I'm guilty of it, that I don't know why, but sitting in the car for a few minutes before you come in the house is some type of form of self-care. I sit in the car sometimes for 20 minutes. And in that time, I'm just sitting there winding down and digressing. But we sit there and we're feeling like we need time away from the things that God has given us. We need a break from the children. We need a break from each other. And it causes us sometimes to kind of be a little selfish. And you know what, I'm going to do me. I'm taking a day to myself, and there's nothing wrong with that because I do it. Go get your nails done. Go get a pedicure. Do things for yourself, but don't overdo it, because the truth is your children are like arrows in the hand of a ready warrior. That's scripture. They say our children are like arrows in our hand. But if we're always so self-centered and self-absorbed, we're not really focusing on them. We're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. And in that, sometimes the children can become a little wayward. Sometimes, things that they're going through in life, we can miss it because we're focused on that me time and me doing me and me finding peace within myself. But those are your assignments. And when you think about arrow in the hand of a warrior, that warrior is focused. That warrior's mind is on hitting the mark. And that's what we want for our children. We want them to hit the mark. And we play a big part in whether they miss or hit. Yes, I know peer pressure is real, and I know that children do things contrary to what we raised them. Mine have. But for the most part, the things that we pour into them, they live by it. For the most part. And it's because I'm very consistent. I pray for this family, and I'm going to do what I got to do, to keep it solid. And also in our marriages, do you have anything you want to say about the children?
Oh, go ahead, I'm listening. Okay. I'm having a good time listening to you.
Okay. So in our marriages, we sit there and we focus on ourselves so much that it gives time for your spouse to be lonely. It gives them time to be like, well, she ain't paying me no attention because she's so caught up in Facebook or Candy Crush, or she's in the show or these series of shows that we watch. And there's nothing wrong with having that time. But as I stated earlier, don't overdo it, because you want to make sure that your family dynamic is solid. You want to make sure that your marriage is solid. You don't want to give easy access for somebody else or something else to creep in because you're sitting there focusing on you. Marriage is one of the most selfless assignments that you will ever walk out. I'm going to say that again. It's a selfless assignment, the most selfless assignment, because really you have to set some things about you to the side almost. And everybody say, well, I don't want to have to change and I don't want to have to shift. But I'm going to be honest. There's going to have to be some things about you that changes when you get married. And that is the reason why I personally feel that there's so many divorces? Because we don't want to let go of the things that are damaging, the things that are causing pain, the things that are causing resistance. We want to keep holding on to it because that's just part of me. That's just who I am. That's how I was raised. My mama did it, her mama did it, and I'm going to do it that way. But that may be the very thing that's grieving your spouse.
That's good.
So you do have to let go of some of you. You do. And you can't say that it's unfair, because think about God. He gave his only son so that you may have eternal life. Now think about a big sacrifice. But we can't sit there and drop our little funky attitudes, because that's just how I am.
That's good right there. Changing your attitude. I was the only child growing up, so it was a lot of shifting I had to do within the marriage just to make her life complete, as far as what we was trying to strive for within the marriage. And so when she talking about changing your attitude, that does go a long way. Because I came into marriage young, naive, and I wanted to do things my way. And for a long time, I continued to do a lot of things my way. And guess what? That grieved my wife. Some of those things that I was doing that I wasn't meeting her on the other end, I was making her upset. Or some things she was missing because I wasn't completing my part as a husband and as a father on that end. So yes, it does take a lot of maturity to grow up into that level and get to that place where you are, sacrificing a whole lot when it comes to marriage. You're sacrificing time. You're sacrificing your energy. All those type of things that you want to have a successful marriage, those are the type of things you need to do.
Yeah.
And being married to Felicia, it has helped me tremendously. It has helped me become the man that I'm supposed to be, that God called me to be from day one. It has helped me tremendously. And I don't take that lightly. When I say that, I really do mean that. It has helped me become a better father, a better husband, a better friend. I listen more. I communicate better. There's a whole lot of things just because I chose. Now, that's very key. I had to choose to be that man. Mm-hmm. It wasn't her fussing at me. It wasn't her yelling at me. It wasn't none of those things. Oh, I do this, or I'm going to do that if you don't comply with what I want done. No, it had to be. My heart had to change. I had to get in line with God and what he wanted for my life and for my family's life. And I promise you, trusting in God and doing it his way, I have seen better results versus doing it the way Chris liked to do it. I promise you, I've seen it way better than what I've liked to do it.
Yeah.
And that's just the way I roll with it. God first, myself, then my family. I break it down just like that.
Yeah, that's good. And he said that doing it our way, our flesh is something else. Our feelings is something else. But one thing I can say for sure, in marriage, you're going to have to set your feelings to the side. Set your feelings down, because feelings a lot to you sometimes. I'm just being real. Sometimes it ain't what you think it is. We'll sit there and we'll have a disagreement and we'll feel like we're being ignored. But the truth is, it may be some pain there, or something that has happened, or some struggle that your spouse is having, and they just don't know how to verbalize it. But in your mind, oh, he being funky today. What's wrong with him? I ain't did nothing to him, or I ain't did nothing to her. So you always have to pray. Don't respond without having a conversation first with God. Then you go and try to have a conversation with your spouse. And then if you can determine then if you're right, if your feelings are right. You pray about it first. You talk to them. And then if it's still no shift, okay, you might be right. He just might be having a little funky attitude and we need to fix this. And that's just the truth. But we are all human. We're going to make mistakes in marriage. And we do need me time. I am not opposed to me time. Please hear me and hear me well. But I do believe that we've messed up and we've overdone it it really has put our marriages in very fragile, and the family dynamic in a fragile place. I used to sit there and watch old school TV shows, and you would see the mother at home, just cooking and cleaning and taking care of the house and the kids. But when that father got home, if those kids cut up, father could not go and sit in front of the TV and watch football and play PlayStation or go hang out with the boys. Father had to correct his children, give his wife a moment, and then he could rest. Because the truth is, it's not fair for you to give your all to a job and other people while your family is falling apart.
I like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me say something right there. Order is what I heard right there.
Mm-hmm.
Order. The father sets the tone. Even when he's not at home, even when he's not doing the cooking, the cleaning, and maintaining the children. Mm-hmm. But when he comes home, he set things in order. And that's what you have to do within your marriage. Even with your me time that we like to get. You have to set order with your me time. And a lot of times, husbands, wives, we get out of character. We want to do things our way and we miss the mark. Sometimes you have to incorporate your entire family.
Yeah.
Even like with folding the clothes this morning. I want to include me time. No, this is family time. And some good conversation came out of us incorporating each other. Instead of thinking me going in one corner, Felicia going in another corner. It's about all of us. The order was set. Even though it wasn't what we thought it was supposed to be, it was set. And good conversation came out of us folding clothes.
Mm-hmm. And also in that time when we were folding the clothes, they were like, let's go to Netflix. No. I said no. We don't need any distractions. That's what I'm saying. You gotta have a place where you really set aside every distraction. And strolling on our phones, that's a form of self-care, me time. You know, okay, I'm gonna look at my Facebook, check my emails, all that. That's personal time. So no, we ain't watching no Netflix. We ain't got cell phones. It's just us developing and growing together. It's us bonding. And you have to be intentional about that. You have to be intentional about date night. You cannot stay married and not ever take your spouse out on a date. You can't. It's not gonna be, you're not gonna be happy because it's always, that's just like a business, your job. Company morale is gonna be low if they never celebrate you. If you go to a job, you clock in and you give them 40 hours a week, every single week, and they never even buy you a pizza, you're gonna be like, these folks don't care nothing about us. We just a warm body, making sure that the owner of this company keeps getting rich. And I mean, I hate to say it that way, but that's what it is. If your company that you work for don't celebrate you, and y'all never have fun, and you never be able to unwind or wind down and enjoy each other, you feel like that relationship is one-sided.
Yes. That's good.
And I am very big on date night because of that. Yeah, we do have to deal with bills. We do have to deal with correcting children. We do have to deal with working and things of that nature. But we still need to make sure that we are setting aside, if not weekly, at least every 2 weeks. And if you can't afford every 2 weeks, go once a month. But still, do things like take walks together. You know, watch a movie home. You can do things to make sure that y'all are being intentional. You know, Chris got this little funny saying that... that Jody will be buying my time, beating my time. You have Jody creeping in the back door, or Joanne, whoever, because y'all not being intentional about making sure that y'all are good. And date night helps that. So make sure that you're not so focused on yourself and the challenges that you have that you're not enjoying, or you're not keeping up morale or bonding in your marriage.
That's good. I do say a lot about Jody beating my time.
Mm-hmm.
And that becomes when you go out here with this me time, or what do you consider me time? Sometimes we can get a little carried away. We can get real comfortable in that situation. And then we think this is supposed to be our norm instead of maintaining our family, maintaining a conversation, maintaining communication. You see what I'm saying? So you got to understand how to differentiate, whatever you want to call it. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Get it out with your language on how you want to run your marriage and what you need to do to take care of your marriage. You know, you don't want to get too carried away where you're doing your me time and you always feel like I got to do me.
Yeah.
And she's left holding the bag, wanting your attention, wanting your time, and getting anything from you. Not one thing. She's sitting here lonely. And a lot of times, we get mixed signals, husband and wife. And sometimes she be screaming, but not saying a word.
That's good.
And then we're sitting here thinking everything's okay. Because men, we do separate the difference of how we view things way different than women. Mm-hmm. We can sit over here thinking that I did my part. I cut the grass yesterday and I'm doing this and I helped fold the laundry this morning. Everything good, but we had no conversation. Because I'm in my little world doing my me thing. She's screaming, wanting me to give her attention.
Yeah.
Be careful how you use your me time. Be careful how you use that.
Yeah. He said something real key that stood out to me. I'm in my world. My world. And when you can say that in a marriage, it's my world or it's a problem. Because the truth of the matter is, when we are married, this is our little place. This is our world. This is our nucleus. This is us. And if we start saying, my, I'm going here, I need to hang, no. I'm going, and you know, people get so caught up in, I ain't getting married because I ain't going to have to tell nobody. When he go hang out with the fellas, he have to check in with me. If I go hang with girls, you have to check in. I have to check in. Not because it's a trust issue, but I can't just be like, oh, we just got finished doing this, so I get home when I get home. Well, babe, we going to go eat. Before we finish doing this, we going to go eat, and I'll be home after that. And it's not because there's a trust issue. It's not because he my boss or I'm his boss. It's a respect. It's a mutual reverence that has to take place. In your me time, don't forget to check in. And make sure that it's not something that bothers your spouse. Like, I could have some friends that he not too fond of. He could have friends that I'm not too fond of. But I will say this. If your spouse is not fond of somebody that you're rolling with, be careful. Be careful, because they know something. They've been given a sense of discernment concerning certain things in your life. You know, and God don't have us connected like that for us not to be gatekeepers even in his life. I feel like I'm a gatekeeper. Like when it comes down to him, I am very mindful of and protective of what he does and who's in his circle, because I know who he is. And everybody don't roll like him. And everybody don't think like him. And I don't think that he's easily influenced. But I just know that there's things that may be said and it may bother him. So we just are careful about who we're around in our me time.
That's good. Gatekeeper part. She does warn me of a lot of things. Now in my younger days, I would want to ignore that because you don't want to hear that about certain family members, friends, people that you come in contact with, and your spouse telling you something like, I don't feel right about that person. And you thinking, I don't see what you're talking about. Once again, we see things differently. Her spiritual eye is different from mine. And the whole key is to try to come together to see the same picture. But she has seen a lot of things in our days, and especially when I was younger, that I missed it. I promise you I missed it. And she was right on it. And a lot of times us as husbands, we don't want to listen to our spouses. We don't want to listen to our wives tell us, you know, that's not good for you right now. Because we think I'm the man, I'm in charge, I can handle it, I'll be okay. And we don't want to listen. And we'll miss the mark up until we get our ankle broken.
Yep.
And that ain't a good feeling. Then it's almost like, I told you so. But she doesn't do that. She has never done that. She's like, just shaking her head, well, let's pick up the pieces and keep moving. But I tried to warn you ahead of time before you got to this brick wall. So you have to be careful and keep your ears open and listen at all times. And just get out of that world. It's all about me, because it's not about you.
It's not.
It's not about you. It's about a togetherness. Y'all doing things on the same page, on one accord. And that's the genuine goal you're trying to reach. Everything together.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, I enjoy being married. And the older I get, the better it's getting for me. Like I said, when I was younger, I did a lot of stupid things, naive, just doing what I wanted to do. Very. I just do what I wanted to do at that time. And I continue to miss the mark. Over and over and over, I missed the mark. By not listening, by being hard-headed, and being the only child, and always having my way and doing it the way that Chris wanted to do it. But I am very thankful for the life that I have with Felicia now, and building my family and growing my family the way that God intended us to grow it, and growing our marriage and learning how to be selfless instead of selfish.
Yes. Well, that's what we wanted to check in and chat with y'all about. Self-care is good, nothing against it. Me time is good, nothing against it. Be careful though. Don't overshoot it. Don't feel like you're obligated to have it even. Because you're not obligated to have it. There may be a season in your marriage or your family time where you're busy with kids, you're busy with being wifey, you're busy with being husband, y'all running back and forth trying to grow businesses, trying to do the things that God has placed in you, and you may not have that much me time. But you cannot overdo that. You cannot overthink it. You cannot just sit there and rest in the fact that I need to do this for myself. That's not what marriage is about. Remember the statement, marriage is the most selfless act that you'll ever have to live through. You cannot be selfish and be married. You just can't. Can't be self-centered. And you can't feel like anything is owed to you. So we just wanted to check in and give y'all that brief word. Also, we want to tell you that we still have shirts on deck. We are selling them for our event that we're planning, Executing the Crossover. So all proceeds go to the shirt. So if you would like to get a shirt, just inbox Chris or I or leave a message on the bridge. Please like, share, and subscribe to the videos. We are excited about the direction and the trajectory that things are going in. So, and we appreciate all the support. Y'all stay blessed. See y'all next week.
Peace.